Namaskar, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 5 of 75 Hard Code. So, we are today on 5th day of 75 Hard Code Challenge, where I am at the moment I am developing my blogging engine, which I will be using to host my blogs from future, from next year, probably 2025. So for now, the target is to complete the blog engine as soon as possible. Then we will be moving to another application. So the main goal is basically to code uninterruptively for 1 hour at least live, and we will be working on blog. Yesterday, because of my other engagements, I was able to work only for half an hour. Minimum limit is of course half an hour, so I try to live stream for around half an hour, 45 minutes. Today we will try to catch up that time and finish what we started yesterday. So for now, what I'll do, I will move to my this screen, and I can see right now it says that I have one concurrent viewer. So whoever it is, I would request you to please like the video to increase the engagement, and if you are comfortable sharing, give your slight introduction also. So now today I am little bit more prepared. So I have the code open, which is our this techie blog code is open, as well as expenser code is open, from where I am copying pasting the code. And I will be as I said, today we will be working on this working on the implementation of implementation of the code for login page. So to start with, in login page, as we saw yesterday, we have couple of items which were giving us error. For example, this verify pop-up was giving error. Even though this verify pop-up was there, but it is giving error. To me, it seems like because of Blazorize, or maybe I'm not using proper Blazorize libraries. So what I'll do is from here, I'll see what all Blazorize library I'm using. So I'm using this Blazorize. Right now, Blazorize is on version 1 point something, and this is an old version of Blazorize. So I will, for now, I will just add couple of elements, probably not couple of all the elements, which will be like this Blazorize, and also we also need this local storage. So I will be using all these. I'll copy this and I will paste it in my blog UI. So for now it says this. So it has like charts, everything. So I have Blazorite bootstrap components, font icon, and it is 1.4. So it is the latest model. So I don't need to copy paste. I just need to add the Blazor storage, and component sidebar is not here. So probably I need to add the sidebar. Icons is there, components and data grid, so data grid is there, components is there, icons is there. Only I think charts and sidebar is needed. So charts is not needed in this particular application because we are not creating any charts as such. So I'll just copy this sidebar and I'll paste it here like this. And since the version is same as the other one, so I'll just copy and paste it. Blazor local storage is also we are using. I'll tell you why we are using Blazor local storage in a little bit, but at least let's add that package for now first. Okay, now we have added these packages, Blazor local storage and everything, and now we have to write this authentication state provider, navigation manager, authentication state. So basically now it should work. Okay, now it's giving this thing also. So what I can do is add accessibility modifier, generate type, suppress, generate in new file. Why do I need to add all these things? I already have there is some issue related to Blazorize, I guess, I think, because in Expenser UI, we have in the login page, we have this verify pop-up. So verify pop-up is Expenser UI dot shared verify pop-up. It is in login layout. Okay, okay. So I think I have created the pop-up structure in the oh, okay, that's why it is giving error. Oh, I had this verify pop-ups which are like these are model pop-ups which we are using, and we also have backend code for this. So that is the reason we are showing this. Okay. So for now, let's do one thing. It will be basically confirmation pop-up. It won't be verify pop-up. So for now, what I will do is I will in the login.razor, I will close this and I'll remove this verify pop-up, as well as I will remove this model also. I don't need these two right now. I just need the login functionality. So if you see, I will remove this also and this also. Now we have verify success dot show. So verification page code if is this page code, so we don't need this. What I'll do is I will comment it, and here I will write to do need to implement confirmation pop-up in place of this in future when the in place of yeah, in place of this in future when the subscriber feature is subscriber feature is written. Okay, so WRITTN. Okay, so now here it is, this custom auth state provider. So we need to write this custom auth state provider also. Basically, in my opinion, this custom auth state provider works when we are using API. So I don't think that we will have to use this authentication mechanism is like this works when we are using API, but if we are not using API, how are we going to do how we are going to work on it? So what we will be doing is this custom auth state provider. So we'll go in Expenser. Here we have, I think somewhere I have the implementation of auth state provider. Let me check. These are the view models. Expansor API. No, it is in. Let's go into the code itself. Here, services code. Sorry, pages, login, and we have this custom auth state provider. Where it is? Here it is, custom auth state provider. We'll right click on this, go to definition. Okay, it is in Expansor UI, custom auth state provider, Expansor UI, common. Okay, so it's in common folder. We have app settings, we have client constants, we have custom auth state provider, we have validate header handler. So I will minimize this thing. This validate header handler is again needed for the client, and custom auth state provider is also needed for the client. Here it is. It says custom auth state provider, authentication state provider. Here what we are doing is we are using the local service and IAuth service to get the details, and from local service we are seeing that if the local service has the login credentials, it has the claim, so it is just checking the claim, and if it doesn't have the claim, it's basically using the refresh token. Here it is, local storage, remove item async, refresh key, and this thing, and set item key, notify authentication state change, get claims identity. Here it is taking the claims identity. Here, see, if you see here, get authentication state, and it is calling the user access by token, and it is using auth service. So again, this is your app user auth service. Where is the auth service? Auth service is iAuth service, iLocal storage. So both of these are interfaces, and these are there. This is also interface. iAuth service will be there in the model. So we are good. Perfect. Yeah, this will be there in the component itself. So app app settings, these are basically for connections and everything, docs with file and all those things, stream and everything. So this will see whether it is needed or not. Client constants, this is basically for APIs, API URLs. So this is not needed. Custom auth provider is needed. And then we have validate header handler. This is also not needed. So what we only need is custom auth provider. So we'll go here, and it is local. So I'll copy this thing, I'll paste it in blog UI. In components we have alert icon, pages, layouts, custom auth provider should be common. Let's put it here in common itself, because right now it's not needed. So I'll just put it in the common, and I will not use the namespace. So what I'll do, just like expenser, I'll add this class like this, and in this I will remove this common, so that this class remains here, and inside this I will just copy, Control C and Control V. Okay, I have all the implementation here now. Now instead of app user, I will be using blog user. So I will replace all the app user with blog user. So just here, Control H, blog user. So here we go. Give me a second. Replace, replace, replace. Done. Okay. Now I have claim names here. We have name, email, and role. So we have full name, user ID, email, role. So why this is giving error? Defines constants for well-known claim types assigned to the subject. This class cannot be inherited. Where is this being inherited? Claims identity, claim, new claim type, the name. Yeah, using blog user.models. So yeah, we have name is here. Okay, now it is giving error. Full name is the property is there. So okay, user email. And this what do we have in case of email? It is email ID. So here also it will be user ID and email ID, and we have we have role ID. So for this, what we'll do, I think we should have an app user also. Like in the models, we should have an app user also. Rather than models, it should be kind of a view model, because that model will be utilized on the front end. So what I'll do, I will add it as add a new folder. It will be view model, and inside the view model I'll be adding new class which will be app user. Okay, and now in custom this thing, I will add a string user role here. So this will be public class app user, which will be inherited by blog user, and it will have a property. It will have a property where it is blog user. So what do I have in blog user? User ID, first name, last name, email ID, login password created on user role ID. Am I saving the profile image? Okay, I am saving all of these things into the database. So I have user role ID here, but what I need is user role name basically. So for front end, I will add another property. I'll just copy this, Control C, Control V, and then I'll copy from here. I'll copy this, Control C, Control V. Okay, here it is. So we have username. We'll save it like this. And now in custom renderer, instead of this, we will be using app user itself. So Control C, Control V. Now it is fixed. V identity, get claims identity, login user, app user. Okay, get claims identity, where it is? It is here. So why this get claims identity is giving error? Okay, because logged in user is Our logged in user is log user, so we'll change it as app user like this. And here auth service, okay, why it is giving error, we'll look into that. Okay, here it is, control V. Now it should not give error. Okay, now the only challenge we are getting this error here, which says cannot implicitly convert blog user. Okay, so auth service, so auth service, if we see the interface in the auth service, we have svc data, registered user, here svc data, verify, resend, update, get user by, okay, here we have block user, it should be app user, this should also be app user, this should also be app user. On front end, we will be using kind of app user everywhere. Let's do it this way. Okay. 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 For now, let's move ahead like this. We'll be using the app user. Here we'll remove this thing. Okay, now in the login page, we have okay, validate user. We are saying if it is verified, or we have to show verify pop-up. So we don't need to show the verify pop-up. We'll comment this thing, because whether it is verified or not, okay, it will be is confirmed. No, is confirmed will show this confirmation success message. So in all the scenarios, it needs to show the confirmation message. Okay. Okay. Now based on the rule, so here the thing is that if the user is admin, then the user needs to be like moved to your the other page, that is your the admin dashboard page. But if the user is not an admin, then they need to move to the local page. Okay, so in that scenario we need to check. For now, let's comment this thing, Control Z. For now, let's comment this, because and we'll put here, we'll put to do. You will say so many to do's. When do we do the to do? But we'll see. We'll see. Implement role based access in this. So now if the login is successful, we'll be moving to index. Now where is index? Do we have an index page? We'll see that. But before that, let's run this code and see how much it works. Okay. So login okay, yeah, it will give me error. First of all, cannot convert login page.ai marks authentication, we validated user. Okay, somewhere I have, okay, this will be app user once again. Tab. IntelliSense is so good these days. And also I need to remove this because login page will never be my first page. Okay, now it's giving me again error. Verify success does not exist in current context. App user could not be found. You are missing user directory. Okay, so first of all, verify success. Close pop-up. This is not needed. So I'll comment it. And the other error is this one, app user is not because it's a view model, so I need to add the view model namespace. And here I will remove this auth sign in. I'll just use the login page. So I'll save it, I'll run it now. It should run now. Okay, 35, here it is. Okay, new blog user, it will be new app user, Control S, run. Build succeeded. We have this login page, Control C. Here we have this login page. We'll click on. Okay, now it's saying invalid operation cannot provide a value for property auth service on the type blog UI. It is because auth service need to be initialized, like dependency injection. You know, what we are doing here in this particular page. Here, if you see, not here, sorry, in the common, I'll show you here. So yeah, in custom auth provider, what we are using is we are injecting auth service. So if you see here, we have auth service, we have local storage. So we are injecting these two services, and we need to implement like these are interfaces. So what .NET is trying to do is like they are trying to fetch the implementation of this interface, which they are not getting. So that's why this error is coming up, and we need to fix this. So this is where now we have to implement how we will handle the services. So what we'll do first now here is we will go in this is our techie blog, this is the UI. Here we will add a new folder called services, add new folder called services. Okay, and inside those services we will implement, first of all we will implement the auth service, which is in this case, if you see here, if you see here in the UI itself, here we have auth service and manage service, and then we have implementation. This is the auth service, and we also have the manage service. Now the difference in this and the implementation now which we are going to do is like this implementation, this auth service implementation is what it is doing is it is calling the API, it is calling the login service URL. So this is this UI is created on the basis of the assumption that this UI will always be using the API. And in my opinion, this shouldn't be the case. Like if we are creating Blazor server, we don't need API. We will be directly calling the database. And if we are like creating Blazor WebAssembly or Blazor this thing either Blazor WebAssembly or Blazor Desktop or Mavi Blazor or all those stuff. So in that case, we need API. So this particular implementation, the auth service and the managed service implementation will vary based on the client which we are going to use. So in this case here, we will be implementing this auth service in our this techie blog here. So what we will do, we'll create, first of all, we create this app service. We'll add new class here. We'll name it as auth service. It is coming like this, and yeah, public auth service. We will copy this and we will paste it like this. Now we have the implementation, and it says that implement interface. So we have implementation, get user by access token, and then we have get user by access token, login async, refresh token async, and register user async, then recent verification email, reset passwords, send password reset email, and all those stuff. Update verification, update and send verification, verify email async. So all these services, all these methods we need to implement. Okay, so we will be implementing this one by one, but instead of implementing this in this blog service, you see in this blog service, in the auth service, we have kind of this implementation where we have this like if you see HTTP post app sign up. So we have this sign up information, login, register, everything is there. Create JWT token, generate token, all these details are here. So instead of doing this, what we will be doing is we will be moving all this code in our engine, which is our this blog engine. So if you see blog engine, we have common, we move the common, we have data access DA core, we have DB access. So now here in blog engine, we'll add one more folder called services. Okay, and inside the services we will create auth service. So here I'll add new class and I'll save auth service and hit enter. So I have this service class, I'll name it as name it as public. Okay, so I have now I have this public class, which is my auth service class, and inside this auth service class I will be implementing all the methods, which is here it is, which will be basically I will be first of all I will be using all these classes like iBlog user repo, iLogger, and iUser login repository. So all these methods are needed. So I will be kind of, you can say, copy pasting whole thing, this whole thing here. I'll be copying and pasting everything from this to yeah, I'll be copying and pasting everything from here to my other class. So what I'll be doing is just this. I'll copy all of this and paste it here like this. And I will remove this auth service here. I'll remove this controller base because we don't need this. And then we are maintaining the tokens and everything. So for logger, we have to using Microsoft install package logging express. Yeah, I will install this one. Find and install the latest version. So I'll install this one. Let me see whether do I need this thing or not. So yes, I am needing this. So I will be installing this, and then once I have done, give me a second, let me see whether it is coming or not. No. So now once I have copied and pasted it here, we are not using this, and we are not using this. Okay, and it will be app user, and it will be like this, app user. So user JSON, this is for sign up, and we won't be using this bad request or something. It won't be action result. What we will be returning is app user. So like this, and because in complex data, yeah, it is new user. Yeah, encrypted new user and encrypted JWT token. So we will be returning SVC data. Sorry, we won't be returning app user. We will be returning SVC data. And here we will be returning null like this. Okay. Okay, and here also, if it is less than or equal to 0, we will be returning null once again. Then, okay, and then return we'll remove this thing like this. So similarly, when the login happens, here also we are passing the same. So this will be we return data like this. We'll remove this one. We'll return null tab. Okay, and here we don't need this thing. We don't need this thing. This will be again SVC data. like this. App login, public, are returning SVC data. Yeah, why is this giving error now? Not all code path return value. So where is this? Which code path is not returning value? If this user is not equal to null, else return null. Okay. Oh, here also. App user. And in this, we validated user. Get login user. Okay, generate. Okay, generate GWT token. We are getting this app user. Okay, user repo. Get login user. Go to definition. Okay, this is blog user. Get user by email. This should be app user. There should be one more repository called app user repository, which will be used for login and everything. If I'm using app user everywhere, why am I creating the blog user class? Usually it should be app user class only. Anyways, let's name it as app user. For now, we'll see. We'll see how we move ahead. Copy, tap to accept, tap to accept, tap to accept. Okay, we have this implemented. Now Control S. Now it says not all path return value. So we have got the validated user. Once we have got the validated user, what we are doing is if this if it is not null, validated user is not null, it is working fine and it is moving ahead, and we are setting this thing. Okay, if I remove this thing instead of turn null, okay, no, we need this thing because we are returning null from here only, because JWT token needs this validated user. So we need the JWT token. Okay. Let's return null. This is perfect. We validated. Why it is giving this error? Hmm. I'll remove this. Okay, we'll come back to this later. Let's change all these methods first. I'll remove this also. Get user by token. This is again return data, so this will again be SBC data, like here. If validated token is not equal to null, this will be again else return null. This will be again return null. And here, in case of this, we will be returning return this data, and this will be if this is equal to null, then return null. No, let's do it this way. If this is not equal to null, then it will do all the activities like this: Control X, Control V, else return null, like this. Okay, this is fine, this is fine. Okay, now why is this giving error? Okay, I think I got the point. It should be something like this. We'll move this from here. We'll move it inside this. Still giving error. Why is this so? Okay. Okay. We have to show. Okay. Okay. Log critical exception, and then mm, will this work now? Yes, this is working. Okay, so this should do something. So that's why it's giving this error. Here also, we need to, because in catch, there should be something. So yeah, this was giving this the error. Okay. Okay, now this is done. So we have implemented this thing. We'll close all this. Sorry, we'll remove unused using. We have this one. Remove unnecessary usings. Okay, we have removed this. Okay, now this is done. This is done. Control S. Okay, now we need to implement this auth service. So what is happening here is instead of like back here, we have this auth service. What it is doing, it is basically on the base URL, it is adding the base URL address, app constant, request headers, and it is getting the headers and add type Blazor and everything. It is basically adding the header and everything because this is being called by local. Now here we have app login async. So we have this login async where we have service, login user and everything. So now we will copy and paste everything from here, and instead of adding the header and instead of calling the send svc http client, it is send async. We request message, response content header, deserialize, response body, JSON options. So we will we will what we will do is in this using serialized user login password login user. Okay, and so if we go in our login method in the services like auth service, let's start with instead of sign up, let's start with login, because sign up anyway we are not implementing. So here in login we have first of all decrypt login password, decrypt user ID and decrypt password, because we are calling it on API, and then we are creating the hash and getting the get user repo and everything. So this is perfectly fine. So we just need to send this a login data, which will be like SVC data, so SVC object. So what we will do, we don't need to this is SVC data, so we don't need to serialize this. And okay, sorry, this is an expander, sorry, Control Z. So what we'll do, we'll first of all copy this login async, Control C, Alt Tab, sorry, this would be here. We have auth service and we have this login async like this. Okay, now what we will be using, auth service is using our auth service interface, and what auth service basically needs is uh, basically it needs the service. So what I'll do, I will see here. Okay, so we'll create here public read only, and it won't be IOT service, it will be basically obj auth service like this. Okay, and then we will create the constructor public, and here we will be passing sorry, public auth service, and inside this will be passing this class, Control C, Control V, auth service, add reference to blog engine. Okay, we have added the reference to blog engine, so it will be like this. And we just name it as auth service, suggested name. And then inside the constructor, we will save it like this. Control V is equal to like this. Yeah. So now, private read only. Okay. Private read only. This will be like this. Private read only. Yeah. Now this is done. Now in login async, we don't need this serializing. We don't need this content header. What we need now is auth service method is direct method, which is like this. So what we just need is obj auth service dot and it will be dot app login, and inside this we will be calling the a login user like this. Okay, and since it is not awaited, so we'll be directly calling this, and here we don't need the response or everything. We just we are directly getting the SVC data. So what we will be doing is we'll just Control X like this, Control V. Now here also we don't have await, and service response, we already had service response, so we are not doing this. We are just directly decrypting this service response, and we don't need the JSON options. We'll just deserialize it as app user. And yeah, let's do it this way, where we return user is equal to Control X, Control V, and here we return user semicolon like this. Perfect. Try catch. Now it says async, and it says, so if I remove async modifier, will it still work? Yeah, it will work. Perfect. So I have this. Now I have to implement refresh token also, because we need the refresh token in order to maintain the login. So what we'll do is, from here we have after login, here we have the refresh token. What it does is like it just call the refresh token and it deserialize as the user. Okay, so we will just from here we'll just yeah, here. So here, from here we have, here it is, we have auth service, app login, decrypt, and then we are basically decrypting the complex data, and then from the complex data we are decrypting this thing. We'll copy and paste. We'll see from, let's see, here also what we are doing is again we are again response body, we are directly, okay, we are directly getting the app user. In this case we are not decrypting this thing, so we will just call this here in refresh token. We'll just call this Control V, Control S, and we'll call this, we have refresh token get user by token. We'll call this one refresh request. Now what is this, what is this, what is being called here? In case of refresh token, we are calling refresh token URL, which is go to definition. It is refresh token. It is not get user by token, it is refresh token. So it will be refresh token. We don't have the method create method refresh token, so we don't have that method refresh token. Okay, so in expenser we have in the authentication API controllers, auth controller, we have refresh token, where it is refresh token verify recent emails, send users, send verification password, sign up. Where is refresh token? We have get user by token, we don't have refresh token. HTTP post get user by token, somewhere we have to look into, and it says SVC data, so we don't have refresh token at the moment, but it is implemented in the authentication code. Do we have get user by token here? Recent, no, we don't have get user by token. we just have refresh token. So in this implementation, what we are doing in the auth service, what we are doing is refresh token, contents and async, restream, post, refresh token, refresh request, so if I don't have refresh token, if I don't have request token API, how is this API working at all? Action verification code. I think this verification code is refresh token. No. Recent training, get user by token, reset password, generate token, we'll see. Okay. So it's not there. I need to find out where is refresh token. We will see about that later, I guess. For now, let's do one thing. Let's roll back this. So we have this not implemented, and yeah, so now what all we have to do is, okay, in blog engine now we have to add an initialize method, so that we should initialize all the necessary services and APIs. So for this, what we'll do, we'll add a new class and we'll name it as blog service initializer, blog service initializer. Okay, and inside this we'll have we'll have public, this class will be public static. So this will be like public static, and inside this we'll be calling this initialize method, which will take iService collection and it will take the connection string. So I'll copy and paste as db connection string like this. Okay, so we have db connection string like this, and now we will be initializing all the services. For example, what we are doing here is like in program.cs, we are initializing not in this blog service, but basically we are initializing here. We are not initializing the data access, but if we go in expenser API in program.cs, we are basically initializing all the startup.cs. If you see here, we are initializing all the connections and everything. So if you see here, we are initializing add transit, add singleton app settings, add transit email service, repository, new user login repo, string, and app user repo, account repo. So these are all the initialization. So here we'll copy this, Control C and Control V. So we have services, and we have user login repository, we have this db connection string. So we have initialized this, and apart from this, we also need to initialize, I think we also need to initialize the service. So inside this service, if you see, we have auth service. Okay, so in auth service, we are calling this blog user repo is being called, login repository is being called, and so we also need to initialize this login repository. So we'll just controls. Okay, this is login repository. So I think we need to initialize the blog user repository. So it will be blog user repo is equal to new blog user repo blog user repo. Okay, so we have initialized these two, and then we have to initialize this so we will just add transient, Control C, Control V, and this is our auth service. So we'll just call it as auth service like this, and perfect. And then okay, it will be, sorry, okay, so we have initialized auth service, we have initialized this, we have initialized this, we have done all the initialization here. So this is like blog service initializer. So in our program.cs here, we have builder, and then add razor places, add service side blazor. Okay, and before adding service side blazor, we will be calling our this thing, will be calling our first of all, we need the connection string. So we have the connection string, I hope. Okay, we don't have the connection string here. We don't have the connection string here. So we need the connection string. So for connection string, let us open in expenser. We have the connection string, so we will just copy paste the expenser connection string and then change the database. So if you go in this solution explorer, in the app settings. Wow, we have so many things, but yeah, we have this app db connection string. So we'll copy this and we'll paste it here, comma, like this, and database will be Techie block, TECHIEBLOG, Techie block. Rest everything will remain same. So this is done, database is connected now. Okay, so my journal time alarm has started. We have gone over 1 hour and 15 minutes, so I think I'll hit pause button right now for today. We'll join back tomorrow and we will continue where we were checking, where we were coding. So let me tell you what I will be doing now. So first of all, like tomorrow, we will continue working on the login screen, and we will finish the login functionality. Once the login functionality is finished, then we will work on like blog and all the other pages and all the other stuff. We'll continue logging and working on that. So in the meantime, take care, good night, namaskar.